everybody, and a very warm welcome to Virtual Sim League Season 12, round number 2. And we were Australia last week. It was a really good start to the season. Our first time in a long while where we only had one tier. But we head to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia this week for the Spanish Grand Prix. Some people would find this track Spain with a capital P. But I actually quite like this track with the removal of that last chicane. My name is Jess Ball. This person wasn't here last week, but he's here for the next few weeks. Welcome back, Rando. How you doing?
I'm Graham here tonight. We're here in Spain, the place where you could say Spain without the S or Spain without the A, because there's going to be some pain and some spinning tonight here in Spain. It's improved significantly in the last couple of years, especially with the removal of a certain chicane. Of course, F1 deeming that that's still not enough, and street circuit in Madrid is much better, but we'll worry about that in 2026. Right now, we've got a few minutes until we get started here for qualifying. So, I don't know, I missed last week, so Jess, enlighten me with what happened last week and how are the standings?
That is a good segue to the standings. We saw Finley took his first win of the season. Well, it was the first race of the season and he took the win. There was quite a few safety cars, quite a few incidents, but I'll go for incidents in just a moment. But there was some clean battling throughout the field, which we really enjoyed. So we got Finley, who's top in the standings. Nick, who was reserved last season, he's full-time this season. He did very well, managed to get on the podium in P2. Glock, I was expecting him to win the race, but he only managed third, so he's looking for redemption tonight. Excite, one of my drivers of the day, he, well, had a bit of lady luck on this side last week, but sometimes having luck is a good thing. He finished 4th, Lakitu finished 5th, Kev finished 6th, Matt Ryan finished 7th, Leroy finished 8th, Speed Knighton finished 9th, and Lewis Craig finished 10th. And then we had Jack Craig, Kieran, Casper, Steven and Ahmed getting the final points. And there was a few people that couldn't make it last week, and a few people unfortunately DNF'd. Constructors standings, hold on, let me get that up. AlphaTauri are leading due to Finley's win. Alfa Romeo, with their 2 drivers in the top 5, managed to put themselves into 2nd place. McLaren in 3rd on 22, Mercedes 4th on 17, Aston Martin 5th on 16, Haas 6th on 10, Red Bull 7th on 9 points with Alpine, Ferrari in 9th on 8, and Williams only scoring 1 point with Ahmed in 15th spot in the drivers' standing. So, long story short, loads of safety cars. Finley came out on top, and it was a decent showing as well.
And well, we'll see if we can follow suit here in Spain, about to get on the way of qualifying. And it's a nice sunny day in Spain, thankfully. Spain in the rain is a very, very unpleasant experience due to the difficult traction zones.
Don't speak
full
too
green
soon.
here tonight. Oh yeah, there is a bit of clouds in the air. Oh no. I mean, I'll tell you from experience of being at Spain in 2022, it's usually hot there because it was 40 degrees there.
Wow.
Yeah, people would drop like flies, I'll just say that much.
Yeah.
I slept during the F2 race because I was so exhausted.
Well, I was at Silverstone in July, and it was hot, but probably not as hot as Spain.
I think it rained in Silverstone for a bit last year also.
Yeah, it did rain last year a bit in Silverstone. But anyway, we got the first driver out on track. We have got Lewis Craig out on the track. And whilst the drivers go out on track, a bit of information about this track. This track first used in Formula 1 1991. And Spain has been to many F1 circuits. Of course, before Formula 1 even started, it was a road circuit near Madrid. Again, we don't want to talk about Madrid because I don't know why that's replacing it. Well, we had Jerez back in 1986, which only lasted for 5 seasons. I remember the European Grand Prix was in Valencia in Spain as well. And the first race was on 10th September 1991. And it was the 35th Grand Prix to be held at Spain this last year, I believe, which was pretty impressive. But let's go on board with Lewis Craig as he starts his lap around this 4.657 kilometre circuit with a few DRS zones. Do you want to take us through a lap, Lewis? Rando, sorry. I don't know why I called you.
Lewis on a lap. He's down the long pit straight with the DRS open, coming down to turn 1. Very difficult turn 1. Quick sequence of corners here. 1, 2, and 3. Easy to spin if you ride that curve a bit too wrong, so he's going to avoid that, give himself a bit of a wide line through 3, running down to the infamous turn 4. Don't ask Mercedes about that corner, but he's navigated well. Different preference for lines there through 4 and 5. He's taken the more wider line. Bit of curve into 6, a downhill braking zone, awkward traction zone, but he's navigated it well. Turn 6 is non-existent. Now, difficult part of the circuit, in my opinion, 7-8 chicane. Just curve. Your car is going into the wall. You'll be flat out through turn 9 as you get second, helping out DRS as you run down to the newly improved Sector 3, which had some changes first in 2021. Open up this turn 11 corner, make a nice, lovely flowing corner, especially 12. He's a bit shaky on the rear into 12 though, so that's going to cost a bit of time. But now you're flat out for penultimate corner. Final corner, you might do a bit of a lift here. Small assistance of DRS as you come to the line, and a 12.6 gets us underway.
So that is the first lap time on the board then, and we got a Williams that just came across the line to start his lap, and we got Deck who's came across the line to finish his lap with a 1:12.3. His second race on a wheel, I believe, and we've got, I think, one of the McLaren who came across the line, that was Stephen with a 1:13.7. Casper up to the line with a 1:12.1, and his teammate will come up to the line of Kieran with a 1:12.7. Anyone else coming on? Here is Glock.
Oh, Yuli shows how to. He's in the wall on his outlap on Inters also.
Hopefully he's got no wing. Hopefully he has got a wing. Sorry.
I don't think he is. I think he just had a massive snap on the grass.
And someone else just had a spin, but that was probably someone on his in lap. So yeah, it was someone on his in lap though. So yeah, there was.
Okay, I figure.
Yeah, so most people have just finished their laps. Yarham on the meters with a 1:12.0. That is very impressive. Now, the ones that are on the inters, they're just getting a little bit of a feel for the track. They don't want to use the softs right away because I can almost guarantee with some people using inters, they want to use the softs for the race and want some fresh softs to boot as well. Let's watch Glock then as he exits the final corner of New Holland. Love that name, by the way. But I can't pronounce the other corners. Glock up to the line, 1:12.0, just about 500ths quicker than Yarham. Wade is going up to the line very soon as well. He's going towards the middle sector. Finley with a 1:11.4. Last week's race winner goes pole by a country mile. So let's see what Wade's going to do. I think we've got one Ferrari just about to finish his lap as well. Nobody's going into the pit lane. So Wade comes across the line in 11th spot. So we've got Philly out there on top. Then we got Glock, Yarham, Casper, Excite, Acorn, Leroy, Lewis Craig, Kieran, Matt Ryan, Wade, Ahmed, and then Stephen have set laps so far. We've got JP, who is going on a lap on the Inters. He just passed through the first sector.
He's backed out.
He's backed off. Okay, so I guess he just wants to get a bit of a feel for the track. Kev and Nick are on out laps. What do you think are the most difficult parts of this circuit?
I think that chicane turn because of that sausage curb. It's very, if you tap that curb, you could easily have you'll have your lap ruined. You could easily have yourself spat into the wall. The third sector is very difficult with the traction. You're barely on the brake for this part of the circuit, but it's easy to spin it or just have your rear get a big call. You lose the rear slightly. You're just catching the car. It's an awkward sector. It's a nice flowing sector when you get it right, but that's a big when. It's a very difficult part. But the first sector is probably the easiest part of the track. It's just a matter of making sure you don't spin yourselves off the curbs or absolutely slam the throttle for turn 1. For the easiest part, and then I don't know, it's a really difficult track with traction in my opinion. Well, it's one that if you get it right, it's a very satisfying lap.
Yeah, it is very tidy, if you can get it right. This is very understeery, this part of the circuit, through turn 3 and 4, but it's a lot easier on this game compared to F122. F122, you would have to lift a little bit more, which is not ideal. I would say turn 9 could be quite unforgiving at times if you don't get the turning, right? You can take it a bit more flat out again compared to previous games as well. So we'll see how Nick does in set 2. Finished second last week. Yellow flag. That's probably people moving out the way as he exits in towards turn 10. It's a 50.4. Purple set to 2, but I think that's against the ones around him, not against the ones near the front. But you never know with this game. Past the 100 metre board there. Aims to the right for the final few corners once again. Past the pit lane entry. Avoid the bump, which I believe is still there. Don't know why. But anyway, he goes up to the line and he goes P2. It's just a tenth shy of Finley there.
Yeah, I'm with Kev Rusky. He's looking like he's in second sector. Bit twitchy for 12. Had to make a few steering adjustments, but should be alright to complete this lap. Bit wide off the final corner though. It was a small bit of time to the line. A 12-0. I think he could have definitely had a third there. Possibly a bit, couple errors in the final sector, but still a strong lap in.
Yeah, still a strong lap for him. We got one of our reserves tonight racing. He just came across the line. Waits up to the line in third place. Decent lap time for him. But I know he can go a bit faster than that. Yeah, I think you can find a few more attempts in that as well. So most people have done their laps already. No one sign of Julie Show doing a lap yet. He's still keen on going on those inters, so he doesn't want to use those softs yet. Hopefully he doesn't bin it this time like he did on the first out lap he did. JP and Pete, though, are going to go on the Socon banner tyres. They've got to get this lap right, because otherwise it's going to be a bit of a one-shot qualifying for them.
He's gone to the pits again.
He's gone to the pits again, so he's not comfortable at all. We jinxed him. We jinxed him.
I think he realizes it's in career series and you get a point for Inter.
No. Or he just knows he hasn't got he hasn't got enough time to lose, so he has to go onto the soft tyres now.
Maybe, but surely doing it twice. I get doing one into lap, but trying two laps is.
You do get points for pole though.
Yeah, but you're not getting down inters.
No. So if I were you, try and get it on the softs and not the intermediate tyres. So Pete ended up scoring some decent points last time out in Australia, and he spun. I'm sure that's in one of the bingo cards tonight, I believe. Yes. So that's one card you could tick off your bingo card. He spun once, but every time I said he done well, anyway. He has a moment. So that's the commentator's curse for me on this stream. But anyway, Pete goes up to the line in 17th. But again, without that spin, he can go quicker. JP goes through set to 1, 21-7. Glock goes up to the line. Our F1 champion from last season, season 11. We did a 1:11 for 2, and he's 2 times quicker than Finlay. I would expect him to possibly top the timers, but let's keep an eye on JP as he heads towards the end of the middle sector. How will he do in turn 10? A 50.8. Matches quite a lot of drivers' middle sectors. We do have a mixed ability grid, so I would expect him possibly to be in the middle, but you never know, some people may have this as their favourite track. So I think he's looking very tidy, heading towards the final corner, going through the start-finish straight. And it's a 112.0. Not too bad. I was expecting it to be roughly about top 10 area, and he was P7, so not too shabby.
Yeah, Lakita's about to finish his lap. Shoots himself up to the 4th with an 11.8. Very strong showing there. Lakita, of course, I commentate on in PSGL last season.
F5, I believe.
F5, yeah. Famously had 2 point scoring finishes and celebrated them both as if he won the championship, which was fair play to him.
Well, to be fair, in leagues like that, if you're not fighting for wins, but you're fighting for points, you celebrate like wins. I think that happened to me one season in the league where I was celebrating points like wins.
Oh, he was celebrating. I remember the chat after.
Oh.
I think it was one towards the end, and he went 2 seasons. Scored. Meanwhile, the two in the championship were having exchanges, but Finley's up again. Quickly decided to put himself back where he thinks he belongs. Yuli finally realized that it's actually not raining, and he's doing a lap on the softs. And he's gone very wide off.
And he's invalid.
Yeah, very wide off 5 and almost spawned off turn 6. Almost did a Perez there. Breaking on the grass, having a massive rear lock. He's got enough time anyway to go in the pits again. Get one run in, but not what he wants.
Not what he wants at all.
He's got pressure on him to have a strong, especially with a full grid. Last season, I remember in F2, he won a few races. They were smaller grids. He's decided to have beef with brake mark anyway, and he's going on this lap despite having 20% battery. I'm actually very confused by that.
I think he's got less than that because his light's flashing.
He's turned off his ERS. He's harvesting, so I'm very strategy at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused, but I'm guessing he wants to get a lap time on the board. If I was him, I would pit because you're not going to have time to do a lap now, come to the pits, and then do another lap. You got to come in.
He's low on fuel also, yeah.
Yeah, and he's low on fuel too, so I'm a bit perplexed, to be honest, as to why he's doing this, but we'll see some other drivers come across the line. Yarham, I believe, is going to... Oh, no, Yarham's on his in-lap. Speed United's been on 3 laps on the softs. Very brave. Let's hope they don't use it in the actual racing. I think most people have finished a lap, apart from Leroy, who's in the middle of his lap. He's about a tenth up in the first sector, which will put him around about near where his teammate is. So in between him and Lewis Craig. So Lewis Craig wouldn't be in a Ferrari sandwich anymore. He would have both Ferraris in front of him.
Yeah, very confused. Lee Schultz now in the pit, so I'm very confused by his strategy today.
I am as well.
I know, maybe he's applying for a job at the great audition for the team.
Yeah, Ferrari haven't been good in terms of strategies, have they? As Leroy goes up to the line, and it's going to be a 112.4.
Last time in the final sector.
Yep. He lost a bit in the final sector, but in the first 2 sectors, it was pretty decent for him. As we got Kev, who was on a lap, but he's taken the break and markables with him. So... Yeah, yes.
Leroy should have time to make it to the pits to get out again, because in fact this is one of the shorter, especially time-wise. I think Austria's the only one that's short. I think it's still shorter than Monaco, similar. One of the shortest anyway, that you kind of trip anyway in the gravel as NA9's coming down slightly down his top. Oh, and he's the rear locked up so far. I've been throwing myself straight into the pits and toss it.
He had a bit of a
dash
slide
attempt.
there.
He's got to complete this. Him for quite. He's even twitching off the. So very curious why he didn't put himself hits. My tires left. Seeing what's going on with some other guys' laps there on their final runs here. Glock, I think, Glock is coming through the final sector, 2 attempts off for the second sector. Gets these last. He will take provisional pole off Finley. He'll be a waiting game. For getting 11-0. So in pole position, put the pressure on Finley. So we'll see what Finley can do in response.
We've got Mercedes, who is about to finish. Nope, he's going into the pits. So, yeah, I was about to finish, but he goes into the pits. Nikita is starting his lap. We've got 1 minute and 40 remaining, so it will be most people finishing going into sector 1. You can see a lot of traffic going through sector 2, by the way, towards 10, 11 and 12.
Yeah, Jay Petrol's going through right now. Everyone's got out of his way. He's a 10.5 up, so he could for himself possibly put himself 6 between Lakitu and Wade. We'll see. bit DRS to finish off his lap, and 7th lost a bit of time in that. Lakita's backed off his. Yarham, we're going to see what he can do. I don't have a sec display. We'll see though. Currently P3. Can he get himself pole or the front row? One more corner to go. Marginal lift there. Bit of DRS, and he didn't improve, unfortunately. And Glock, oh no, he's
retired in the pits. He's retired in the pits. But can we see people improve as Waitsy is retired in the pits, I believe?
Yes, yeah. He comes down. This is, yeah, Spain is a track where the major issue. You don't see many improvements in the final runs. So, see what Last can do, because you just get a depending on setup, especially in that everyone tends to have a different line wherever they want to go a bit wider. So they'll just get the marble build up. Unfortunately, Yarm is down. Finley's down for the first sector.
I'm just trying to see who's going to be the first one to cross the line, and it was Yarham. So Yarham is second down, so yeah, he's not going to be able to improve. Nick's not able to improve either and stayed in 4th spot. What can his teammate do in 14th spot? He's going to be the next one to cross the line. Oh, I don't think it's going to be an improvement there. He had a slide there, a slide and a half for Stephen. Up to line he goes. And he's a temp down in that final sector. So, yeah that cost him time there.
He was a temp down for the second. Lakita, though, he's been improving through the first 2 sectors. Where can he throw himself in this up to P4? So, the only driver to get improvement in the one here.
Fastest final sector,
not going to have a time.
Fastest final sector for Lakito. So that was about 7 100ths slower than Yarham, and a few 100ths quicker than Nick. So your top 3 is Glock on pole, Finley in second, Yarham in third. Your top 2, very familiar, similar to last week. In a, well, it's not really sunny, but it's not really raining either. It's a mixture. Got a bit of sun and cloud as well. So Glock is on pole. He gets a point for his championship tally because there's a point for pole position. Finley in second, Yarham third, Lakiti 4th, Nick 5th, Waitsy 6th, JP 7th, Casper 8th, Knighton 9th, and Lewis Craig 10th. We've got Waze 11th, Kev 12th, Kieran 13th, Det 14th, Stephen, Excite, Leroy, Matt Ryan, Ahmed, and Judy Show. Judy Show was the only one not to set a lap time. Everyone else did manage to set a lap, and the field is separated by around about 2 seconds. And thank you so much to those of you who have joined the stream, and hope you can stay tuned for the rest of it. Now, you obviously weren't here last week, but you obviously know the rules, that it is a mandatory 2-stop this season, and they have to pit twice, but they can't pit under safety car. It will not count as a mandatory stop. The cars must complete the safety car restart procedure. That's the thing that we need to clear up from last week. So they can't follow the safety car in, basically. That is not allowed. They have to follow the next lap before making a stop under green when the leader has completed a full lap. And then there was also a misinterpretation about the VSC. You can pit under VSC. That's valid if you wanted to. And a car may be counted as making a valid stop under the safety car when they can prove that all 4 wheels were inside the pit entry blend line. So those were the rules there. There was one Shoes report last week that felt that they were in violation with their rules, but because that rule wasn't implemented about following the safety car in, that was that's why no penalty was applied. And and Leroy had his time penalty removed because he got stupid 3-second penalties in turn 4 and 5. And Stephen got a 3-second time penalty added to his Australia time for blocking in qualifying. And I believe Philly caused some trouble in the safety car, which gave him a 5-second penalty. I don't know why he challenged that, because he won the race anyway. But I'm guessing he wanted to change that anyway. So that was the update from last week anyway. But 2 stops can change quite a bit, and especially if there's a track where there's a lot of safety cars. Some people may want to get their 2 stops out the way nice and early, but it's about the tyres really more than anything.
I mean, I'm just thinking back to commentating Tier 2 last season, and there was some bizarre. The first half of the race was absolutely clean, and then a safety car comes out. In Spain, you're getting. It's just an inevitability in Spain that read safety cars here, so a lot going softs to get that stop out early. Casper's on hards, and you have Yarum, Nick, Waitsy, Kev, Key, and Deck on medium. A lot of spread in the strategy, but there's a clear favourite strategy. Of course, Spain is a track where 2 stop is plausible in normal conditions, so shouldn't really affect the strategies, but hard 2 stop and underfueled. Oh,
I could see a lot of people underfueling for today's race because of the potential of safety cars.
just Casper.
I know Casper well. I've engineered him quite a few times in other leagues, and he always does, and he still makes it to the end. So I trust him. It is quite cloudy, so we could see some rain. And just a note as well, even if it's full wet at any point, they still have to do 2 stops. We are cruel like that, but it is what it is. It happens in other leagues as well, where the 2 stop you have to pit under full wet conditions. I swear to God, it seems like, except PSGL, every league I commentate on is 2 stop. Every league. It's VSL, and there's one other league, and I commentated on another league last week that did a 2 stop. So, but anyway.
This first one might be another 2 stop.
Welcome to my world. Anyway, we're about to get into the race. Tell us your top 3 predictions.
I'm gonna say Glock Finley 1 and 2. J Pedro 3rd if he keeps his.
I'm gonna go with Finley, Glock, Lakito.
I mean, knowing how he celebrated a point, I'd like to see a celebration for. But we're about to get underway.
Here we go then. 5 red light, and I can't see the 5 red lights, so I'm unable to tell if they're going, but 5 red lights anyway. And we are go, and Finley gets a better getaway, but Glock managing to pull away and try and take the lead, but he's not going to, so Finley had the better reaction time out of anyone as they make their way towards turn number 1. Lakitu tries to dive up the inside and towards turn 2. Can he make it work? Nope, he can't. Yarham covers him off. We got Raty and Niter fighting in the background for P7 in towards turn 3. We got one of the Alfa Romeo's fighting once again. That is Lakitu, and he's got past Yarham into 3rd. Waity to the inside of Pete. He's up into 7th, so that's good for him. The 2 Ferrari, they're fighting side by side. And one of the McLarens is Stephen as well. And then we got Waity and Knighton fighting once again in towards turn 7. It's just not stopping right now on lap 1. It's great to see, but Finley had the advantage out of anyone at the start. So, good job on him.
Yeah, surprisingly, we have 20 cars all together. Instant. They see a couple cars towards take the escape road. No instance, which is very surprising. Lap 1 in Spain, so on to everyone. The key to getting clear of probably mainly due to the tyre advantage she's going to have at this early stages. So the front 3 needs to just clear Yaram quickly being the softs. The Casper is in already, so getting rid of the hards off go. I guess it's this move for the lead. Getting the slipstream down in 1, back in the lead. No DRS till next lap. So that's just a pure overtake. So very strong him there. Felix might fight us into turn 4. He is going to fight us into edge just slightly for turn 5. Glock just keeps that inside line. Finley can take the outside for 5. Keep the time being with some great.
So we got Deck, Casper and Leroy. Deck, Casper and Leroy that have done their mandatory stop on lap 1 already. So that's one of their stops completed. It's no stopping them on when they can pit, as long as they pit at the end of the penultimate lap. So that's their stop done. I think they're trying to cover off any safety cars. I wouldn't have pitted on lap 1 myself unless they got damaged. So they might have got damage in the background. Probably it must have been damaged, but they just wanted to get it out the way anyway. So Finley is going to try and go for the move. Maybe once again, DRS will be enabled this lap at the detection point, but the detection point is not quite yet. We're going to try and go for the move anyway towards T1. Glock covers him off and clips that inside curb. Moving towards turn 3 now. Understeer central, but Finley trying to manage it right now. He's not using much of his overtake either, so he's just going to save his battery and save his tyres. You don't want to push too much on those softs early on, because they will degrade very quickly around Spain, as I found out in many Spain races I've done on this game. And up the hill once again, avoiding the gravel trap. I think he's going to go for moving towards turn 10. I think that's where he's going to make the challenge. So maybe he'll use about 4 or 5% of his battery now. I don't think so yet. So he is saving the battery and saving the tyre life. Or maybe he wants to go for moving to turn 1. But yeah, at this stage, you don't want to push on the softs too early. Lakita, by the way, is pressurising Finley. So it might just be Finley is just struggling to get past. Finley's got to get a move on here, Rando.
Yeah, I think Finley's wait till turn 1.
And
but he's a bit deep on turn 1, so Glock fight this back potentially if he gets. He's giving himself a wide run. Backs up, but he's going to sit behind, stay content with P2 at the moment.
Yeah, Finley. Well, he had to do the move. He did cut off a little bit there. Blame Discord for that, by the way. But anyway, Finley eventually gets the lead. And if these two keep squabbling, Lakita and Yarham will be chasing them like no tomorrow. We've got Lakita in that Alfa Romeo, Yarham in the Williams. And his DRS train is going to keep growing and growing. Meanwhile, in the background, Pete and Waitsy fight once again. With Waitsy on the medium, showing him who's boss at the moment. But Pete will fight back soon. No, he doesn't. He gets passed by Kieran. So I wonder if Pete's softs are struggling a bit more than intended. I'm a bit shocked by that, because I thought the sauce would last a bit longer in some people's cars. But maybe he was just pushing a little bit too much.
Oh, he almost spun.
He did almost spun, but he caught that absolutely nicely. But that will allow Lewis Cray to try and go for the move in the background as well. We'll see if
he's derating also.
We'll see if Glock goes for the move on. No, it's Yarham going for the move on the Kitu. So Yarham passed the Kitu, but now he's right on the back of Glock.
I think Lakita's had a moment because he's lost 2 seconds just there to Yarm, so he must have had a moment.
Oh, right, that was weird.
He's struggling majorly.
How did he lose 2 seconds that quickly?
He's lost an end plate.
Oh, no.
Must have been contact between him and Yarm.
Must have been contact that we didn't see. So, Matt Ryan has done a stop, so that was end of lap 4, I believe. For Matt Ryan. Where are you, Matt Ryan, on my spreadsheet? I can't find you. There you are, end of lap 4. Perfect. As Kieran gets past Lakitu. So yeah, Lakitu must have got a bit of damage there. Which
yeah, this is one of the worst tracks to get damage.
It is.
So he'll be straight in the pits. No, there's no chance you could try and stay out missing an end plate, so he'll be straight. Which he is, and it's just gonna be frustrating. Probably at this rate.
I feel so bad for him. And on the end of lap 5, He comes in for his first stop and he has to change his front wing.
Yes, possibly pull him back potentially. Was free wide into turn. A lot of cars together with Yulisho, Kevrowski, and MXI Ways just in front of him. Still tight between Kev and MXI, but behind chooses not to go for that. Down the inside is going to be the outside. Turn 5. Is he going to get switched back on Ways? He's going to go for it, and he's got a Yulisho to get P11 starting last. Definitely making up for his qualifying mishaps.
He definitely made the move stick, so great job. Of course, showed Tier 2 who's boss last season, but Yarham, bit of a swerve on the final corner, but those memes are going to be a lot better for him, so he's going to use the DRS. It's going to be free wide towards turn 1, cuts off the pit lane exit line, goes to the right-hand side, and Finley, very smart, had to back off there, but he lost 2 positions because of it. Glock leads the race. Yarham up to second. And honestly, if all 3 of them went wide there, then that would have definitely been a trip to the gravel trap.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yarham had a twitch. I told hit into Glock and just he fit in perfectly between the gap. Twitch worked out well in the end. Of them.
That was Pete, Wade, and Julie Show that have come into the pit lane. So that's their first stop out of the way. Let me get the stops out. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people have done stops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got Casper, Pete, Dak, Lakito, Leroy. Did I put Leroy? Yeah, I did. Leroy, Matt Ryan, Waze, Ahmed, and Julie Show. I think Ahmed I forgot to put. So, yeah. So, Ahmed was, I believe, lap 6 as well. As we got 2 side-by-side action. Oh, no! Finley! Finley
must have had a moment.
He must have had a moment. More pit stops. MXI and Steven. So that's their first stops complete, but that could have been tears for that driver. Oh my God. And with this
tears for the brake boards.
Yeah, and that's not going to help for people if they rely on that for brake references. They don't use line, but the top 3, by the way, they are pulling away from the rest of the field by around about 2 or 3 seconds. That's good news for them, not good news if from 4-4 below.
It's into the back of Glocko's. None of them pitting, yeah. That he knows he's vulnerable now, choosing now, but he's been cut off. He's not going to care about that down the inside goes, but braking league is Glock, and he takes the lead. And Yarm is dropping it back a bit. He might be in this. Here we go. Most drivers have pitted 8 at this stage.
Lewis Craig in the pits. Lewis Craig in. Lakiti saying the fastest lap of the race so far. And don't forget, that gives you some very nice bonus points if you can do that. Lewis Craig comes out in 11th, so that's not a bad pit stop for him. 2.8 seconds behind Speed Knighton as Julie Show having a ding-dong battle with Ahmed, it seems like, in the background. The top 3 still going strong. We'll keep an eye on the medium runners because I think we're starting to see some of the medium runners close in. JP, by the way, in 5th, doing well to hold on to those softs, but we're like to Kieran and Waitsy catching. It's going to be inevitable. But JP deciding that enough is enough on those softs. And he comes in on the end of lap 9 to possibly put mediums on and do a double stint. I think it's going to be, for most drivers, it's going to be soft, medium, medium. But for some drivers, it's going to be, I think, a lot harder than that. So he comes in. And, yep, he's going on to the mediums as expected. And he's just going to come out, I think. I don't know. It's going to be close between the likes of Casper, Pete, and Lewis. JP is ahead. He is ahead of Casper, so that was good. Oh, as Waity almost goes off the trap between himself and Kieran. Kieran getting the switch back in towards turn 7. Nicely done. Kieran back up to 5th.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the pit stops. So surprised softs. At this moment, seeing J Pedro here. It's a 24 seconds for a pit stop here. Right now, the front free, so the man on the hard tire, as there's a spin in the back air, it's M. Ryan. There won't be a safety car for that off turn 5. I think Yaharam was probably hoping hits would have benefited massively. It would have. What's happened there?
Softs for Yarham again.
He was on mediums.
Oh, he was on mediums, but I thought he would have gone on to another set of mediums, not softs. But I'm guessing he wants to get a soft tyre out of the way. But Kieran and Waity fighting towards turn 4. If Kieran could cut the mustard, this could be good for him. 3 past turn 5. And in towards turn 6 and 7 now. If you get this wrong, that will allow your opponent to try and go for the move there. And that was very tight on entry through 8. And in towards turn 9 now to the right-hand side. Takes it flat out. And Kieran hardly got any ERS to play with. So he's going to be forced just to follow Waity for a little bit. These two on the same strategy, both on the medium tyres. So they are pretty much fighting on pace right now. Meanwhile, our soft runners are coming in. So that will put... Oh, and Nick is as well. So on the end of lap 11, our main contenders is in. Waitsy is in as well. And I forgot to note JP's lap. That was 10, wasn't it? Yep, that was lap 10.
Yeah, it was lap 4.
So it's just Kieran, I believe, who has not done his first stop. Because Kev has just pitted as well.
As watch for J Pedro here. Is he going to get Finley here? No, just, but Finley's going to have some tyre. J Pedro is aggressive and ambitious. In fact, he is. He might try one Finley if he has half a chance. But Yarm's cleared the two of them. Cleared Glock and Finley by pit earlier. So he's just going to try and eke out a gap while he has the bare tyres off. So that's going to... He's done what he's needed. Got the undercut on his two opponents. And now he's on the faster tyre.
Yeah, so, this is definitely helping the likes of JP currently. On the, undercutting his rivals of Knighton, Casper and Nick. And here comes Kieran, who comes in. So Yarham is leading. Yarham is leading on the fresher rubber. Glock in P2, Finley in third. So everybody, after end of lap 12, have done their first stops. So everyone will only need to do one more stop, and that will be their mandatory done. As long as we don't have a safety car. So, where will Kieran come out? I don't know, but we've got Finley that's got past Glock again in towards turn number 1. A DRS overtake there. Nick has also gone for the softs for a second stint. Same with Kev. So 3 drivers opted for a different strategy. That's what I like about the 2-stop strategy. You can go full guns a-blazing and try something different if you wanted to. For some drivers, it would work out. For some drivers like me, it won't work out. But make sure you do leave us a like on this video, by the way, and hit that subscribe button. And follow us on Twitter and YouTube at VSL_F1. And also Instagram. We also do a rally championship, which will be starting soon. And you can find more information about that on VSL_rally. Gap now between Yarham and Finley, 1.5 seconds. So I'm trying to see if the gap's going to come down. It is increasing just a tiny bit. But I think the delta, between the softs and the mediums is about 4 tenths. So it should be 4 tenths a lap that Johan will be gaining. But it won't be very long before Johan's softs will start to degrade and he maybe will have to pit onto a set of the mediums to the end. Meanwhile, Nick on his softs gets past speed 19 in towards turn 1. Nicely done, up to 5th.
Yeah, meanwhile, Jay, by this race, looked like it was going good. If a Jay Pedro, he's quickly being dropped, and he'll worry about Nick at this rate with the speed he's going at. But Finley and Glock doing a good job just maintaining. So they just need to keep the gap relative between them and Yarman when the Nick's almost in the DRS of Jay Pedro. No, that's not what he needs. In the last couple of laps, which I'm very confused by, is he got like damage. So
I think what we might have to do, Rando, is we may have to move to a PSM party because you keep cutting off for me quite a few times.
Oh dear.
I thought it was going to have a problem now it would fix itself, but it's not going to.
I'll try to just leave and rejoin again.
Hang on a minute. I will, if you create a party with me, then I'll join it. As Nick, by the way, gets past JP. That means I'll need to turn the game sound a bit up as well. But, yeah. Apologies about that, everyone. I thought the problem would fix itself, but it seems to have not. And I've got fed up with the cutting problem already, but yeah. So Nick's up to 4th. Could be one place below where he wants to be right now. But he's going to try at least. And let me know when you made the party, by the way, and I'll join it. As I think Johan's got dropping the gap now. I think 1.5 second gap. And let me just oh no, I thought it was a party invite, but it wasn't. As a Glock, by the way, going side by side in towards turn number 1 through the inside line. As Glock goes up into 2nd spot. And Philly's dropped down to 3rd. So it seems to be at the early part of his stint now, that's where he's struggling a little bit. So I think, hang on. Finley has got a lot of work to do if he wants to challenge Glock once again. He's your championship leader at the end of the day, so he's going to try and see what he can do through that. Nick's got a tough task as well. It's about a 3.1 second gap. And I've just been invited to a party, so if I turn my game audio up for a bit. 8, 9. And I will have to enable it on my OBS. There we go, that was a bit loud for me to game. Wait, hold on. It would help if I plug my mic. Hang on a sec. That is better because I wasn't using my PS mic, but there we go. Got there in the end. Hopefully that'll be a bit better for you. Rando, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're a bit more echoey, but it's fine. But the time has come. The crossover's happened. Glock and Finley have caught up to Yarum, and they're going to mount an attack now. See if they try and turn 10. I would not advise it into turn 10 anyway. Which Glock? This is to my voice. And Finley's going to try to stick one down the inside. Never mind that. Gonna go wheel to wheel for turn 12 around the outside. Does Finley have the traction? No, he doesn't. Glock keeps that P2, which is crucial now as they're about to run into DRS down the main straight, the main overtaking opportunity. Let's see if Glock has it this time. Yeah, I was trying to cut off the system as best as he can, but there's not much he can do. Glock's retake the lead, and I think Finley's too back to try anything, so Glock leads from Yarm and Finley in P3. Few drivers doing their second pit stop at this rate.
Yeah, I think most people are doing their second stops, so we'll get them up for you. So it's Casper Waves and Julie show.
I swear there was another one.
I swear there was another one as well, but that's what the game's not telling me.
Nope, it's just those guys that pitted.
Yeah.
For a second time.
So yeah, that's their two stops done. They don't need to worry. Yellow flag. That is one of the Alpines.
It's Casper. He's going very slow out the pits. I think he had the pit limiter still on, possibly.
That is interesting.
I think he forgot to turn off the pit limiter because he was going very slow down the exit. So I think he forgot to turn off the pit limiter.
That's not good.
No, that's very ill-advised to keep your pit limiter on because you will be going the same speed as your average road car.
Yeah, thank goodness you're not cutting off for me now. Well, hey, that is good. I think from now on, when you commentate with me race 4, we're using PS Chat. I thought Discord would fix itself by tonight.
No, Discord doesn't like me.
Yeah, Discord doesn't like Rando. Life story.
And Rando doesn't like Discord.
Okay, so we will know how to use PlayStation from now on. Right.
Finley.
Finley having a moment. It looks like. Let's watch the freeway fight once again. Lakitu comes in as well for his second stop. That's early for Lakitu.
Yeah, pitted not too long ago. He's gone on to medium, so they will make the distance anyway. 14 more laps to go. They will be hurting though, as Finley is having a lot of problems with traction there, especially the rear. For turn 5 and 10, he had snaps, so he is struggling with traction at this rate. So he might be coming in a couple laps time. Very wide for the final corner, also. So he is definitely struggling with some grip.
And I think that is allowing Glock to just pull away a little bit from everybody as the key to on the fresher rubber gets past Ahmed up to 15th. But the question is, with them putting early, I think it will get to the end. It will. It's around. I think I'm trying to have a look when I wrote down the strategy. But we got more pitters. Lewis Craig on the hards. Stephen on the mediums and Deck on the softs. Now, I don't know if Deck's strategy is going to work because he pitted on lap 1, but he probably pitted there's going to be a safety car. So, fair play for him giving it a go anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be a stretch against softs the distance. They will be very slow at the end of the stint, so very interesting to see him going on the softs this early. Lap you could do 10 laps maybe would be plausible, but 13 is going to be a bit of a stretch, so he's going to very much struggle towards the end of the race. But trying something different, which you can't really complain about.
Nick and Peter in.
That's what happens in these two stopping races. People will try something a bit different. Yet to see someone try the Intes yet, thankfully.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can.
You can.
Can you?
Yeah, you can put on Intes while it's dry.
I didn't. Well, I did, but it'll be stupid. Leroy and Ahmed are in as well, but we have got side-by-side action happening with Lakeita and Lewis Craig in towards turn number 3. Lewis Craig looks like he's got the better run on Lakita to the right-hand side of turn 4, but Lakita gets a switchback of dreams here. Bish bash bosh, Lakita's got the job done in towards turn 5. Through turn 6 and 7 they go. Glock and Yarham now go into the pit lane.
Opposite what I was expecting. I was expecting Finley to be the first of them to pick, given his struggles with grip, but it's the other way around. Glock and Yarham pitting before Finley. So we'll see if Finley can pump in some lap times to get overcut. More likely we'll see Glock and Yarham getting undercut, but Yarham's gone for some softs again. So like Deck, he's going to struggle to bring these to the end of the race. He'll get the advantage now. He needs to clear Glock quickly, but he's going to struggle towards the end. We saw that in the second sit. He went softs, but then started to struggle, and Glock cleared him easy enough. So it's going to be interesting to see if this strategy will pay off for Yarham, or whether or not he's going to be a sane duck in a few laps' time.
Yeah, I'm a bit intrigued to see what's going to happen here for these soft runners. I do believe Excite's going to come in and probably pit onto the softs. If you haven't gone into the pits yet, it's almost certain you're going to go on softs. Try and brave it anyway. See if it works. And if it doesn't work, then at least you tried it.
Here goes Finley anyway.
Finley's going to try and go for the stop. Undercut may not work though, so we will see what happens. Well, what lap did Amit pit, by the way? I know he's done his 2 stops. I can't remember what lap he pitted. I don't know.
He pitted a lap ago, so 21.
Thank you. And JP is in as well, but we got a battle. Well, we did have a battle for P3 on the road between Glock and Yarham again. It's turning out to a 2-way car fight because Finley's overcut did not work. The 2 Mercedes are fighting in the background though. Pete's newer tyres versus Kev's old worn tyres is helping him here at the moment. It's Kieran that leads, but the top 2 yet to pit. So they got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, right now, Finley's on the worst spot. He's not too far behind Yarm and Glock. Needs a bit of work to get in the DRS, but he's not a threat from anyone realistically. Nick's a bit too far back to be a realistic threat once Finley gets the temp in those soft compound tires. So we'll see who's pulled the right card based on strategy for this last stint. Glock has track position right now, but he's going to have the slower tires, so you're expecting both Yarm and Finley to clear him early doors. It's just a case of when their tires start degrading, can Glock repass them? But meanwhile, Waitsy and Kieran battling for what is on track the lead at the moment. It will fizzle down to the lower end of the points once they piss. Kieran's going to possibly think of turn 4. Waitsy goes, don't you dare try that. You are not Lewis Hamilton and I am not Nico Rosberg. Do not try me into turn 4. Thank you very much. And they get to survive beyond turn 4, thankfully. Oh, yellow flag. Who's that spinning? It's Casper, I think.
I think it might have been someone in the pit lane. Oh, it's Casper. It is Casper that's lost it. Luckily, that didn't bring a safety car.
Oh, Jesus. Someone's gone well off the track there. I think it was Waze.
And I think Casper was fighting with one of the Ferraris as well.
Waitsy's into the pits. Kieran staying now, so he's going to be the last to complete his final pit stop.
So that'll be soft compound tyres for Waitsy. Yellow flag. This may be good timing for him. And no safety car. So
no, he just spun.
It was a Red Bull that spun.
Gilly show spun off the chicane.
Yep. So his tyres are not looking too good right now. Oh, we got Lewis Craig fighting with Lakita in towards turn number 1. They were fighting a few laps ago, and they're going to try and fight once again then. Lewis on the hards. He can manage to cope with it. A bit of a tank slammer through turn 4. Waitsy's joining in the fight as well. Top 15 score points at VSL. Lewis Craig tries to send it round the outside potentially. Waitsy's got a good C in the house here. If any of those two make a mistake, he can pounce right away.
He's going to need to clear them though for a strategy. It's off the track goes Lewis.
Commentator's curse, Lewis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he rolled that sausage curb off 7 and 8. And that just spam out. Fortunately, didn't spin him into the path of Waitsy, otherwise that would have been a bit of an incident. But Kieran's now come in as, oh Jesus, little kid to Tokyo drifting through turn 12. But he's going to surely be passed here by Waitsy down the pit straight. DRS is now on board the AlphaTauri, and with ease he is ahead and clears Kieran as he's leaving the pit exit. It's going to be tight between Kieran and Lewis Craig on the pit exit, very close to contact. Forces Lewis off the track slightly. Will Kieran be having some words about that move by Kieran? Potentially. We'll see if he finds that unfavourable, but Yarm and Finley have cleared Glock. We missed that. So now it's just a case of when these tyres fall off for the front two, and can Glock navigate his way through the two of them.
Everyone has done their 2 stops. We've had no safety cars or no VSC, so that has been probably, out of the 2 races we had, the easiest to track, which was good for us. No non-mandatory so far. As Kieran saying the fastest middle sector, he's going to try and climb his way up and maybe close in on certain drivers that have just pitted. Finley, by the way, gets past Yarham into turn 1. So Finley up into the race leading at AlphaTauri. Question is, can he keep it there? He's on the newer rubber though, so he's got an advantage. I'm going to keep an eye on the medium runners, Glock and Nick. They've probably got the best strategy, but Glock is probably the closest out of the two to gain an advantage. So I think my money's on Glock to win because of the durable tyres, but Lewis Craig getting past the Kitu once again into P9.
Yeah, something's going to happen between the two of them because they've lost so much time to Kieran and Waitsy. They're over 2 seconds behind, so not sure if that's just them racing very aggressively or there's been a bit of an incident between those two, but losing that amount of time in the space of a lap is very interesting, especially when Kieran was between the two of them also. So interesting to see how that happened. But Kieran getting a move in turn 10 on Waitsy. Let's see if Waitsy follows him back through turn 1 down the pit straight, because you quickly get DRS. You don't have a chance to pull it 1 second on someone with a similar tyre strategy as you. Getting a move on turn 10, so Waitsy will quickly have some DRS once again. Kieran sets the fastest lap, and Waitsy, it'll be a lunge potentially here for the move, and he's going to lunge down the inside. Kieran breaks later and keeps the position. Great defensive move by Kieran to keep that position. Now he'll look to clear the AlphaTauri to solidify that P7 and look ahead at Pete for potentially P6.
Kieran's looking quick on those softs. Maybe him pitting on these tyres is the right thing to do. If there's a safety car, Kieran's back in this.
I mean, can they pit onto the next safe? If there is a safety car, can they pit?
Because they've done that. They can pit, but it'll count as non-mandatory. But they've done their 2 stops anyway, so they can pit when they want from this point on. But just. So.
But yeah, it's unlikely they'll have some softs left realistically. So
no, they won't. So I think they're gonna have. So the ones who have just pitted recently, the most recently, will be the ones that benefit from it. No rain, luckily, and Kieran's really chasing Pete down. So he's got on the gearbox. Here he goes, and Kieran gets up into P6 right now. And I'm looking at Pete's ERS. He hasn't got much left. That's going to allow Waitsy to try and get past the move on him. Kieran is going to be loving this because he can stretch the gap between Waitsy and Speed 910. As Waitsy and Speed 9 have been fighting for quite a bit in this race. And let us know, like Matt has said in the chat, who do you think is going to win? I said Glock because of him being on the more durable tyre. But people may think differently as Kev, by the way, gets past Deck. Fair play to Deck for potentially going to be scoring points in this race as Casper not having the best of races. He gets past Wade up to 14th.
Yeah, right now is the one struggling the most with Battery. Finley's in the best position with Battery, slightly ahead of Glock, but Finley's pulling away now. He's 8 tenths ahead. If he can bridge a 1 second gap, that might help him win this race. But right now, Glock's going to try. He's burning his Battery. Yeah, supposed to take the outside line if he wants the lead. He's going to take the outside line. Yarum lost the rear bit, and that's giving Glock P2, and that could end up giving him the race win. He's going to have 3 laps to get Finley, and due to the fact that he's probably on the bare tires now, that is a likelihood, but he's losing time. Finley is pushing now, seeing that Glock is the man behind him. He is trying to open the gap. Hope Yarum can repass potentially. He's going to need to keep that gap though. He's burned the Battery in very unorthodox places, burning it through 7 and 8, which is very interesting. He was doing that anyway. He just pulled the gap, and he's got 1.4, so he might be good when they get down the pit straight, and Yarum might go for a repass, which that is definitely what Finley is hoping happens for his race. Yeah, Glock won't have DRS down the main straight, so is Yarum in a position to open up an attack to retake that second place? He's burning his small reservoir of Battery anyway. Getting closer. Is he going to go for it? He is. Pulls out the slipstream down the inside. And he does have P2. So that is big for Finley. That might have won Finley the race there. Just pulling out the 1 second gap. So Glock was vulnerable down the pit straight, and Yarum retaking that P2. So that might just win Finley this race.
Yep, I think with all that squabbling, Finley could go and take his second win in a row, which will extend his championship lead even more. So I'm very impressed with what Finley could do right now. Definitely come to his own at the end of the last season in F1, of course. Judy Show's got a penalty. Glock's going to try for another move. Yep, it's his second penalty. Glock's going to try and go for another move. Kevin Deck going to do the same. Yellow flag, that's I think one of the Alpines again.
Oh, Yarum's got off the track.
Who?
Yarum. He missed his braking point completely, and that let Glock through. So all of a sudden, this race might not be over. 2 laps to go as Yulisho retires in the pits, but all of a sudden, Glock might have a chance. He needs to bridge the gap though quickly here. He needs about 8 tenths this lap to have a chance to get Finley in the final lap.
I think it's going to be close, but I think Finley will just about get it.
Yeah, I think Finley just has enough. Oh,
shows out the race. No.
Yeah, retired in the pits.
Well, there's only 1.5 laps to go. He has nothing else left to fight for, which is a bit of a shame, of course. Hopefully he can redeem himself for Monaco next week.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you got to get used to it. We are at PSG. We're there racing at Monaco as well.
Oh, Jesus. What's the obsession of Monaco racing and league racing?
Well, I think for most leagues, they haven't done Monaco yet, so they're having to do it in their last season.
We need to do it once in the game. We'll just get it out now. We'll get it out before the actual. Oh, Yarum!
Almost had a moment again. That's allowing Nick to catch up and maybe get a podium here. Casper sets past lap of the race. That could try and get him a point or two. Yellow
He's
flag.
19th though. He's run out of fuel. Yeah, ran out of fuel.
No safety car, so of course he would run out of fuel. That is a good point, actually, Rando. I think we could see people dangerously on the cusp of running out of fuel to the line because, surprisingly, we had no safety cars. Waity, by the way, has had a very good race. He's got past Kieran up to 6th place, and that battle's going to go right on to the end of the race. Razor's got a 3-second time penalty, so that's another one to add to his list. How's Finley doing on fuel, by the way?
I just checked. The only ones that are on at the moment are Deck and Waze. So they won't make it. Deck's just on the cost, but Waze will make it. So Deck
So everyone else is fine.
Yeah, Deck will run out on the line, but Waze is not going to make it. So he's going to drop out the points.
Lifting and coasting. Deck is lifting and coasting, by the way. He keeps...
But here goes Finley through the final couple corners.
Finley, he won last week. And he pretty much played the strategy perfectly this week with Glock and Johan swabbling. Finley wins race 2 and wins his second win in a row. Glock in second, Johan third, Nick fourth. JP, what a result for him in 5th. And we got Waitsy crossing the line in 6th spot. Kieran in 7th on his reserve race. He's reserve this season. Pete in 8th. Some more points for him, which is great to see. Only one spin for Pete, and that was in qualifying. Lakita in 9th, and Lewis Craig will be 10th. So who will get fastest lap inside the top 15? We'll have to see. Leroy, as I think we got a few people in the back. Wait, he just ran out of fuel.
Yeah, fastest lap in the top 15 is Finley. Oh no, wait, it's Kieran. Kieran's fastest lap.
No, I know the rules. If they're outside the top 15, no one gets a point.
Oh, no one gets a point. Yeah, then no one gets a point then.
Yeah, that's correct. Ahmed, I think Ahmed's just going to run out on the line. Oh no, he's fine. He's fine. And that's only one retirement in this race. And did anyone predict in the chat that Freddie was going to get the win? I did, and I predicted Glock. So, there we go.
Oh, and in good news for just me, Liverpool are 2-0 up against Chelsea at half-time.
Spoiler, I don't like football anyway, but...
I know some people here are not Liverpool fans, and I am, so I very much like to point that out, that Liverpool are...
Jess doesn't like football? Oh my god, I'm shocked.
Oh, dude, this is the pen, are you kidding me?
Anyway, on that bombshell, let's go through the results for the Spanish Grand Prix. So Finley adds another decent haul of points to his championship tally. Glock in 2nd, Johan 3rd, Nick 4th, JP 5th, Waitsy 6th, Kieran, Speed 9 turn, Lucky 2, Lewis Craig your top 10, Leroy, Kev, Deck, Stephen and MX Site, your finishers, your points finishers, and then Waitsy, Ahmed, Matt Ryan and Casper are your finishers, and your only retirement is Julie Show in 20th spot. I'm looking at the bingo card for today. I don't think we've ticked many from the bingo card. People complain in Spain. Well, it's more than likely, isn't it? Finley wins. Yes. Kev top 8? No. Deck crashes? I don't know. Pete spins? Yes. Someone uses hards? Yes. Lobby doesn't start at 8 PM? Yes. Nick podium? No. Ahmed qualifies last? No.
It was you, the show.
It was you, the show. Rain? No. One safety car? No. Glock Cole? Yes. So you're welcome for me helping you on your bingo card, but we didn't get a full house because there was a few that didn't happen. So, yeah. What were your thoughts? I think that's going to be like that for the rest of the season, so I can't wait to see what goes on in the races to come. I'm not going to be here next week, but we will be back on the 7th of February for the special event. With, I believe it's Reverse Grid Monaco. And If I was away, I usually I'll say I'm watching my hotel, but I actually won't physically be watching it anywhere because obviously I'll be watching something else. But expect I think a lot of people going into the barriers, and expect qualifying going to be very, very important. I know some people want to try and get clean, but I can't remember when the last time we were at Monaco at VSL. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it should be interesting. And with you and Matta tracking the stops next week. You won't be alone next week, don't worry. Matta did promise he would join you next week, so which is good. But you'll join them same time next week, 8 PM UK time. Stephen says in the chat, cancel next week. No, not gonna happen, sunshine. Anyway, have a good evening, everyone. Make sure you follow us on socials at VSL_F1 on Instagram and Twitter. Like us this video and subscribe to us on YouTube if you haven't already. Follow us on socials. And yeah, until then, luckily we fixed the problems in the end. Our resolution for the remaining races at Rando's joining me, we're using PSN Party, not Discord. That is the moral of tonight's stream. Thank you for watching. See you Rando and Matta will see you next week. Bye bye.